What's up, y'all? It's your fave nail tech cousin, and I'm back with another video. Whether you are new or returning, thank you so much for doing so. You are greatly appreciated. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be showing you how I do my acrylic application on stiletto nails. This is going to be a tutorial slash tips and tricks type of video. With that being said, let's lock in. First things first, I am going to be placing my first acrylic bead right over where the natural nail and nail tip meet. Yes, I know that this is a practice hand. We're going to be using the same jargon in terms as if it was a real hand. I'm a very by the book and literal mostly type of person, so you'll hear a lot of technical terms and seeing mostly of everything done technical and straight to the point. In my personal opinion, I feel as if doing things that way cuts out a lot of the confusion. But if there's any chance that you are confused or feel like you're missing a key point in any of my videos, do not hesitate to leave me a comment and I'll do my best to explain further. Moving on to the cuticle bead, I'm placing it not directly on the cuticle but a few centimeters below it. Then I'll pat and mold it into place before cleaning and rehydrating my acrylic brush. Depending on how wet or dry the cuticle bead is, I do blend it right away before cleaning and rehydrating my brush. That is just to ensure that it doesn't run all over the place and it's not spilling over to the sides. Once you've rehydrated your brush, gently pat the acrylic bead into the cuticle area and gently blend the bead downward. You do not need to push or be super rough during this step. The acrylic will flow where you need it to go in self-level. Now that we're at a decent stopping point, I did want to answer some questions and give you guys some tips for acrylic application on stiletto nails. I got a comment about how to get a fully leveled nail without dents and fully cover the nail with acrylic during application. To answer that question, it all comes down to your liquid to powder ratio and how big or how small your acrylic beads are. For instance, right here, I would say that this length is medium, so a medium sized bead will be needed to cover the entire nail tip. If the bead is smaller, you'll be scrounging for product and there will be dents in your application. You can fix this by adding more acrylic beads to that area and also working on your liquid to powder ratio in the long run. Another question that I get frequently is, does the acrylic brush matter? I'm going to be completely honest when I say this, it does not. It is all about your technique rather than your tools, and that goes for anything involving nails. If you do not know how to work with acrylic, it does not necessarily mean that it is the fault of the acrylic brush that you're using. When I first started, I was using a size 14 brush from Temu and a size 14 from my local nail supply. The one from my local nail supply has seen some dark days, and that is because I did not know what I was doing. After practicing every single chance that I got, I eventually got the hang of the technique and what to do during which step and how to fix what is needed when it is that time. But enough about me, let's jump back into this application. Another thing I like to do is pat and tuck the sides. That defines the shape even more and gives it a nice uniform look. I want to point out and dive a little deeper into how I am fully covering the nail tip with the first bead. I am mostly patting it towards the free edge. I do angle the finger downward to let gravity pull on it, and I'll just make sure that I'm keeping the sidewalls as clean as possible. Now, I know you see me doing a 2.5 bead method here, and I'm touching it up with smaller beads of acrylic here and there. That is what works for me, and it also just depends on the length of the nail plus the shape. Do not stress about the number of beads it takes to complete your application. As long as the structure of the nail is correct, that is all that matters. Even if you have to do the 5 bead method, that is okay. Just keep practicing until you get the actual technique of how to lay acrylic down and make sure that the structure is complete. Then you can adjust on the actual number of beads as you go. Mastering acrylic application will take time, and that is me speaking from experience. It does not happen overnight. I've had several ways and methods before I actually found what works for me. So all you have to do, and all that I am encouraging you to do as well, is to keep practicing and keep trying different ways until one thing clicks. And even if you try that way one day and it actually doesn't click, you can always change things around and try something else out. You will master your acrylic application before you know it. Give yourself grace as well, and do not beat yourself up when things are not working out. We've all been there, and we're all here now, growing and learning together. I'm going to conclude this video here. If this video helped you, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below what nail tutorial or content that you would like to see next. While you're at it, follow Breezy Acrylics on all platforms. I'm on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram, posting daily. So make sure that you're locked in, cousin. As always, any product/tools used can be found in my Amazon storefront. You can find them under my link tree, which can be found in the description of this video. I've either used or currently used every item that is listed, by the way. If you'd like to try any of them or make the switch, run to the description and it'll be there waiting for you. If you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed and hit that bell so you'll never miss any time that I post. And as always, I will see you in the next video.